Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So, earlier this morning, I was talking about 90s nostalgia. Right now, I would like to talk to all of you about something that I think needs to be discussed a little bit more. So, maybe it's just me, but there are times when I feel like members of certain fandoms, whether it's Star Wars or Power Rangers, Lord of the Rings, any of those things, they seem to think that in order to show your fandom, you have to watch everything, read everything, buy up all the memorabilia and the toys and things like that are associated with this franchise or this brand. Well, I'm here to tell you you don't. You can still call yourself a fan even if you've only seen a small portion of whatever this franchise has to offer, and if you only have like one or two bits of memorabilia or none at all. You can still call yourself a fan. In fact, I think it's wise to be judicious about what you buy based on a certain brand or a franchise. And I'm going to tell you how that works. I'll use an example from my own life. So, when I was a kid, I was a big fan of Power Rangers. Then I got away from it. Then I discovered the Japanese version, Super Sentai, and I really got into it. And so of course, I kept thinking to myself, how great would it be to get my hands on the original Power Morpher? For those of you who don't know, that's the device that the Rangers use to morph into their suits. So when the Legacy Edition Power Morphers came out, I was like, oh, this is perfect. I never had a Power Morpher when I was a kid. And the Legacy Editions are made of die-cast metal, so it's an upgrade from when I was younger. So I saved up the money and I bought the Power Morpher. And you know what was great? Years later, I felt inspired to cosplay Billy, the original Blue Ranger. So I was already a step ahead. I had the Power Morpher. All I needed now was to get the right shirts and a replica of the wrist communicator, which, lucky for me, there was a company that produced them. So there I was. I was very happy because I had something that connected me with my childhood, and I also was able to say, look at this. I've got a piece of memorabilia not just from Power Rangers but Super Sentai, the show I like better. But when it came to like action figures based on the original Rangers and the monsters and other things like that, I looked at them and I thought to myself, you know what? I don't need these. A long time ago, I would have died for like a Blue Ranger action figure or something like that. But right now, I'm looking at them and I'm like, what am I going to do with these? Well, the answer was simple: nothing. It might just sit on my shelf and I might pick it up and look at it and then put it back. But it turned out the Power Morpher wasn't just good for cosplay. It was also good for a little fan film I did. You can watch it here on my channel. But action figures and things like that, no. Some fans would be like, oh, come on, you can't be a fan of Power Rangers or even Super Sentai without buying the action figures. To which I say, no, I don't need them. I'd rather save my money for stuff that really means something to me. The action figures don't really mean anything to me, so I didn't buy them. And that's okay. Now, years later, when I took a closer look at that Power Morpher, I said to myself, if I'm really being honest with myself, I've had my fun with this thing. I used it for cosplay. I used it for a fan film. I used it, to reconnect with my childhood. But now I'm at the point where I really don't need this anymore. And honestly, I don't even really want it. It served its purpose in my life. So I sold it. I was admittedly a little bit sad to see it go because of all the memories I had attached to it, but I knew it was time to let go, and I felt better for it. And so, if any of you out there are fans of a particular franchise or brand, and you have, like, for example, lightsaber replicas from Star Wars, or you have action figures from The Lord of the Rings, or you have maybe posters of Power Rangers or something like that hanging up on your walls, and you're just not feeling anything, don't tell yourself that you have to hold on to these things just because you have memories attached to them, just because they were an important part of your childhoods, or because you still consider yourself a fan of that brand. And don't don't let anyone convince you that you can't let go of them because, what if someone asks for them? What if someone asks you if you still have these things and you say no, and then they're like, "How could you get rid of that stuff? It's Power Rangers, it's Star Wars, it's Lord of the Rings. This is big stuff." Don't let anyone scare you into thinking that you can't let go of these things just because they're attached to a franchise you like. I can't stress that enough. Your peace of mind and your flexibility in your own house is more important. I mean, if you feel like you're having trouble concentrating because you're so busy holding on to memorabilia from franchises that you like, and you know that they're just taking up space and you don't have as much of an attachment to them, let them go. In fact, you never know. If the person that you let those objects go to might actually bring some joy into their life, which can also be rewarding. So that's what I'd like to encourage all of you to do. If, like me, you're a fan of Power Rangers, but you feel like you're moving on to other things, you've had your fun with maybe uh, the Morpher replicas or the action figures or something like that, and you know that they're just taking up space and you've had your fun and you just need to let it go, let it go. Take some pictures with them if you want, especially if that helps to hold on to the memories a little better, but feel free to let them go and move on to the next stage in your life. Move on to the next franchise, move on to the next interest. You'd be amazed at how much space frees up in your mind and how much pressure comes off of your shoulders. I mean, if there's anything that I've learned about growing older, it's that letting go of things that we're not attached to and are a burden, even if it's just a small burden, it really adds up. And it makes life a lot more peaceful. And it makes the transition to the next stage in your life that much easier. So I hope that helps. And I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video. Take care.